Hello guys, I'm Dr. Kashan Kasit today here to discuss the most important topic. This topic is important because everyone wants to know about the reason behind and the things which are going to enhance or which are increasing this problem. So I've decided to make the lecture on this topic, that is human hair. I'm not going to directly tell you the reasons or cases like female pattern baldness, male pattern baldness, or the reasons which are going to lead these problems. I'll start my lecture from the basic structure, basic unit of the human hair. What is human hair composed of? From where it is produced? After that, I will discuss the problems related to them and the solutions as well. So before going in detail, I will give you here the simple example. Everyone knows the plant which is produced, which is formed from the basic unit, that is root. Likewise, human hair is also formed from the basic structure, which is hair follicle. Hair follicle consists of the hair bulb. Here is the sebaceous gland, the terminal hairs, and the erector pili muscle. This also has its function. I will discuss later. So coming to the basic structure, that is the hair follicle. A follicle is a skin organ that produces the human hair, and it is a reservoir for the stem cells for the regeneration of the both skin as well as hair. So after puberty, the changes occurs in the body, and under the androgenic influence, the follicles enlarge and they develop into the hairs as well as the sebaceous glands. So the sebaceous glands and the terminal hairs are formed. The function of these sebaceous gland is that this sebaceous gland, this is the sebaceous gland, this has some mixture of the material inside it, that is sebum, wax material, triglycerides. When these secretions are released here into the hair follicle, it is providing actually the thermoregulatory as well as the protective properties to the human hair. So how this secretions are released in this follicle? This erector pili muscle is playing here the most important role. This erector pili muscle, when it contracts, it is actually pressing this sebaceous gland. This sebaceous gland squeezes its mixture here into the hair follicle, and this is how it is performing its function. So coming to the terminal hairs. Terminal hairs are the long, thick and pigmented hairs, darkly pigmented hairs. They are present on the top of the skin. The hairs are performing its role in the whole body, but we are going to discuss here the most importantly the scalp hair. These are important because it is also beautifying, also it is giving the aesthetic look to the people. So we will discuss here the scalp hair. Out of 1 lakh and 1.5 lakh follicles which are present on the scalp. So the scalp follicles grows into the two type of the hairs. Number one here are the terminal hairs, and the second one is the vellus hair. Out of this 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 75 to 90% of the follicles are going to produce the terminal hairs. These terminal hairs are thick and they are pigmented, darkly pigmented hairs, and they are present on the top after the skin. These vellus hairs are the small, thin and light pigmented hairs, and these are produced from the remaining follicles, and they are present in and they cannot be seen easily, and they are present on the scalp as well. So these two type of the hairs are produced from the hair follicles present on the scalp. Coming to the terminal hair shaft, this is a terminal hair shaft. This is a long tube, and it is a bundle of compressed proteins with a small quantity of fat, minerals and vitamins. Three essential type of the human hair are, number one is the lanugo hair, vellus hair and the terminal hair. Lanugo hair is present is a non-modulated hair, and it is present usually in the fetus. The second one is the vellus hair, terminal hair. Vellus hair is I will already discussed that it is a small, thin and light pigmented hairs, and they are present in a small quantity in the scalp. The terminal hairs are dominant hair which are present on the scalp, and they are highly pigmented, they are thick and long. So these are the three type of the hairs which are present in the humans. So coming to this structure of the hair, the terminal hair, the structure consists of three main parts, that is This outer one part is the cuticle. Then this inner portion, here is the inner portion, which is cortex, and the third portion is present just in the center, that is medulla. So these are the three structures which are making the terminal hair shaft. We have discussed the basic structure of the human hair. Now we will discuss the aging process of the human hair. The human hair, the scalp of the human hair consists of the follicles. These follicles are with the passage of the time are going to decline. In the tissue in the hair matrix are subjected to some internal factors as well as the external factors. The internal factors involve the continuous metabolic activity and the natural aging. These internal factors are inherited and they will result in the male pattern balding and the premature graying of the hair. Coming to the external factors, the external factors are from the outside environment, and they are actually has impact on the quality of hair produced. They include the effects of the UV rays, environment, smoking and nutrition. So these are the factors which are leading human hair aging process. So coming to this internal factors, I have discussed that in this internal factors, the continuous stress, metabolic stress, as a result of this continuous metabolic activity, the high energy molecule, that is the highly reactive molecule, that is the ROS, highly reactive oxygen molecule, is generated in the cells. So once it is generated, it is leading to the oxidative stress, which is leading to the aging process of the hairs. Normally the human hair follicle has some enzymes and also the vitamin, that is vitamin E and C. These are defense mechanism and they are actually quenching this ROS, highly reactive oxygen molecule. So once this defense mechanism is broken down, this ROS molecule is invading inside the cells and damage the active cells. This damaging active cell will result in the premature graying of the hair, and there will be the loss of human hair, that is the decreased quality as well as the quantity of the human hair. So this is how this process will result in the aging of the human hair. Human hair grows from the basic structure, that is follicle, but with the passage of the time, this hair deteriorates due to the external factors, some external factor, internal factors like chemicals, environmental factors and the physical injuries. So this will lead to the process which is called weathering of the hairs. So weathering is of two types. Number one is the natural weathering, second one is the accelerated weathering. Natural weathering is going away of the cuticle shaft with the excessive physical act of grooming. But accelerated weathering is due to the excessive use of the chemicals, physical and chemical agent. So these external factors and internal factors are leading to the number one is the graying of the hairs. The hairs are going to be thin and they are poor in the quality. This is how these factors are playing its role in the aging of the human hair. I will give you here the example of the woman or a man. A woman or a man who do not uses the excessive chemicals and the heat on their hair. This weathering process will not be seen in these type of the people. While the women who are using, women or a men who are using the excessive chemicals and as well as the heat applicants or the heat procedures on their hair, this weathering procedure is usually seen with the naked eye on their tip of the hairs. Now I will discuss the sources of the damage of the human hair. The sources of the damage includes the wetting, the friction, too much rubbing, the sunlight, too much heat from the dryer and styling appliances, heavy metal used in the swimming pools. The most devastating here are the chemical processes like bleaching, perming, relaxing and straightening. Other include poor habit of the brushing and combing. These are all the sources of the damage of the human hair. So either the factors are from the external factors, either the factors are internal factors. All these factors, when they are combined, they will result in the cuticle damage. Once the I've discussed earlier, that is the cuticle is the outermost protective layer. So once this cuticle is damaged, the inner layer, that is cortex, is exposed, and the damage of the human protein occurs, and there will be the less shine of the human hair, and this damage to the protein will be noticed by the women as well as by the men in their brushes. I will end my lecture with the topic of the human hair care products. So what are the cosmetic products which are maintaining the health of the human hair? Number one here is the shampoo, conditioning agent, then the serum, smoothing agents, then the last one is the styling, heat protecting products. These are all the care products which we should use for the proper care and health of the human hair. So I will discuss these in details next, and the problems related to the human hair like fall of the human hair, dandruff and other conditions and the cases I will discuss in my next videos. Thank you very much for listening.